know that it's called the bionic, the bomb, the puff, the blow, the black, the herb, the sensi, the chronic, the sweet Mary Jane, ganja, spliff, reefer, the bad, the Buddha, the homegrown, the ill, the Maui Maui, the method, pop, lethal, turbo, Thai, shake, skunk, stress, wacky, weed, blaze, the boot, dime bag, Scooby-Doo, Bob, bogey, backyard boogie.
Woo! It's the Cool R&B Show! That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio on a Monday night in April. That's where I feel like I have to like date stamp our shows, you know, for when the aliens find them in the future. And we are live, and hopefully we sound okay. If we don't, then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You try your best. You do what you can do. And if it doesn't work, then you just gotta be okay with it. You can't cry. You can't cry, TS, okay? So stop. You stop. Because you were the one crying. It was you.
I'm very emo. Normally I roll with the punches, but when it comes to the show,
yeah,
I'm
normally
very
it's me
emotional.
who talks you down. It's not 100% of the time you telling me it's going to be okay and to go through the steps of recovery. Do something, plug it back in, try something else. No, you're so not level-headed. It is me who is the calm one. And I don't get derailed at all. And I don't throw like an autistic tantrum when I can't find things. I don't. We're live. And I think everything is working. And if it's not, again, it's okay. And we are findable everywhere. YouTube is a good place, but you can start on Adobe first with the free Adobe app, as I assume you are listening to us on now. If you're not, then you should, because it's pretty great. It's got all these podcasts for free. And then where else? Instagram's been pretty cool. But TikTok, oh my God, I tried to film like a second of a TikTok today, and I had like a little bit of smoke in the frame. I didn't even realize it was in there. And they were like, no. They were like, your video is under review. And I was like, all right. They like changed the rules where like they have an AI going through every frame of everybody's content now. So like you can't get away with nothing.
So like if you do the old off screen, take the hit and then do the on screen, puff it out.
No, that is not allowed anymore. I still see some creators, I still see it slide, and I don't really know why, but for me, and I have no followers. So like, I don't know why I get so flagged, but I do. I am not allowed to post that stuff. And I don't want to get my account, like I don't want to like start a new account and like find all my followers again. So I don't want to get my account banned, you know. I just want to scroll. Can a girl just scroll?
Then you can put deleted at 500K.
Take away the K, and that will be accurate. Yes. So yes, we're on all of those places. Thank you. We're on all of. My freaking board's not working. I usually use the cough button so you don't hear me coughing, but sorry, it's not working. So you're just gonna have to hear me cough. Oh, and all of our drops. Okay. It's okay. We can figure it out, and we're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. What are we doing today? We're Oh, okay. So what are we not doing? I didn't even take any edibles. That's probably why I'm crying that the show isn't working, because I didn't take any of our patented, prescribed cookies.
Peanut butter prescribed.
We never posted the
cookie
recipe, but we will. We have to like add a bunch of stuff to the video that we keep forgetting to do because we get too high. It's true. It's a problem. Weed is a problem. It's an addictive epidemic, and you can't finish your content videos because you eat too much cookies.
If they weren't so damn good, tasty,
they are really tasty
and effective, I would have had this video done by now.
For sure. But it's okay. We'll get it done. We're going to make more stuff because we made a lot of canna butter. And I'll tell you, it's great. I'm really, really glad that we did that. I really am.
Yeah, I haven't had to buy edibles for a couple weeks now, and I've been sleeping like a baby. All of my
Yeah.
like aches and pains are gone, and I don't know. I may or may not have put on a couple of pounds, but those
You
cookies
look
are
great.
delicious. Thank you.
No, they're great. I highly recommend if you have the resources to make canna butter. Listen to last week's show. We kind of give a little breakdown of what to do, especially because we are getting into 420. Okay, I'm going to play our new production if I can find it because everything got all messed up, but it's okay. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. It is not.
The constant updates.
Yeah, it's just literally my freaking board. You know, this is radio speak, but my board did update out of nowhere, and I thought we were all good. I thought it even improved. Silly me. It did not. It did not improve. Okay, well, I'll get our drops from whence they came, and we will play the countdown.
The clock is ticking, nerds. The countdown to 420 is on with the Cool Nerd Weed Show. High on facts, low on stress, and nerding out till the holiest of holidays hits. It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show.
Yeah, I am so low on stress. That is so accurate. That's me. I've had multiple people tell me that lately I seem stressed, which, I mean, yeah, I'm literally, that's my constant state. But in there telling me that I seem stressed, they're like, you're usually so calm and zen and like, you know, like assuming, I guess, that I'm like stoned all the time, which I am, but that I'm like calm and zen. Would you describe me that way?
Never. Ever. Ever.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Calm, zen are two words that I would never use to describe you.
When have I ever been that way? And I was like, it's clear that I have got this masking thing down pat. Because Pat? Yeah, no, I am not. For all the weed that I smoke and consume, even when I'm the highest I'll ever be, I'm still worrying about something. So that's not the way. But I try my best in this month of 420 that we are in. And honestly, 420 is the day that I am the least stressed about. So we are doing our countdown to 420 with just a little special 420 seggy in the show leading up. 420 actually falls on a Monday this year, so we will be recording live.
It's on a Sunday.
I mean, a Sunday. That's what I meant. I meant that. So we'll be reporting live.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. There's a lot of things happening on that day. Most importantly, 420. Nothing else matters. I mean, I like Jesus, but...
You know, there will be Easter candy available.
Oh, yeah. And feasts. Feasts, I tell
And
you.
so much food.
I'm Italian, so we're going to be in the East Coast. We're going to be in New York for probably the 420 festivities, and we'll break down for you in a minute just how we prepare and how we think you should prepare. But we will be in New York, which I haven't been since 420. I haven't been to a New York 420 since before I moved to LA. So like many years. I've obviously been in New York, you know, since it's been legal a lot, but not on a 420, which I'm excited about because I did always feel like 420 was always fun, but I don't know. There's something about it that I always felt like it was a fun day. It was always a fun day. Some 420s weren't fun at the city. I felt like it was like nothing was going on. I feel like the last few 420s before I moved out here, which was probably like, I don't know, 12 years ago, 11 years ago, weren't like crazy poppin'. It was just the usual Washington Square Park gathering, but not even like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I just went at the wrong times or something because I never went at a time when it was busy. Like I always went when there was like small little groups of people, and I would kind of be like the only one smoking. Like I don't know. Maybe I just didn't. And I've been many years to 420 in the city, and I feel like I just would always go with my friends or just me alone at the wrong time. But I'm excited to go this year because I do think it's going to be a fun time in the city. I think it's going to feel like LA used to feel.
Yeah, especially with 420 falling on a weekend. A lot of people are off. Cannabis has been legal for several years now in New York, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be great. There's a lot to do in the city for sure. There's a lot of stoners. And what, okay, so I had this thought for us on 420 and we should go like old school New York, like pick up like a 20, like pick up like a dub in the park, and I'll roll it up in a blunt.
Yeah,
Like,
I was hoping you'd say that. Sorry.
What's like the quintessential New York City East Coast blunt? Would you say, like, from back in the day? Would it be like a Dutch Master or a Philly or Swister?
We smoked Dutchies.
Dutchies. Oh, a Dutch Master. Okay.
We did, but that might be very specific to where I was from. But that's just how we when we smoke blunts.
No.
When I started smoking like backwood blunts, when I got older, like I was like, oh, this is cool. You know what I mean? Because I was like smoking cigars before. But I came from the age of cloves too, so we didn't give a shit about our lungs back in the day.
Yeah. I love the idea of a backwood, like a whole leaf of actual tobacco leaf, like that's cool. But I think the Dutch, the Dutchie.
I like a Dutchie.
I
do, and they were a delicacy.
We'll get a big one. We'll get like Robusto, like
the shit that we used to get arrested for. Like that's what I want to smoke. It is like the shit that like they would like tag us for, after school. Well, I never smoked after school, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like that your friends would get in trouble for because they were smoking a fat blunt, like, by the Lincoln Tunnel or something, and the Port Authority police arrested them. This is a very specific story that happened, but I was never arrested because I was a very goody two shoes. But this year it is legal, and it's double triple legal on 420. So. I love this idea. I love we'll pick up, we'll get, now here's something to note though, and we'll go over this. We're going to smoke like a blunt because, it's just our East Coast tradition, and like we can usually handle doing that, and it will bring us to the long haul because we have a full day of festivities. It's Easter, so we're going to my family's, and they cook so much, and all the family's going to be there. So like we have a full day ahead of us on 420. We're going to like go in, do our festivities, get all of our stuff in, and then go do our stuff. But we know what we can handle. Like you definitely on your 420 have to know what you can handle. Like if you want to smoke a blunt or a Dutch Masters, maybe do it later on in the day when you're at like the spot or because blunts have knocked me on my ass recently, so it's not like in the beginning it's a gamble. I just know the gamble that I'm taking, and I know how to kind of prepare and like where to go if I don't feel good. I'm not smoking anymore. But I feel like a lot of people, especially on 420, will push. Don't push take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Mucho take it easy.
420 is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It's a long day, and you want to be there from start to finish. You don't want to be passed out in the street. You want to be there with all your people,
with all your friends. Hold on, I want to do another drop because we're gonna go into exactly what we think will make a perfect 420.
The clock is ticking, nerds. The countdown to 420 is on with the Cool Nerd Weed Show.
Nice. It's almost here. And, oops, I almost played some music. And it really is, though. Like, April just started, and the 20th is really around the bend. So, It's a very important holiday. I would suggest, and here's how the nerds are going to lay it out for you. We're going to lay it out for you. Beginning of the day, waking up, what we recommend you do. This is what we do on our 420, which you've joined along many a nerd 420 from the legal days, like the Prop D days, probably to, well, not really, to the legal days, to like the pandemic days. Like I remember I was thinking of the pandemic 420. Like that was crazy. Like a memory came up from like that day or that year, and I was like, oh my god, that was you were in Florida, I think.
Yeah.
I had to get delivery 420, weed.
420 2020.
420 2020. And yeah, I got like thank God, like this fucking service was delivering throughout the pandemic, because essentials,
cannabis.
Yeah, cannabis was considered essential.
Essential.
Like food. So I remember I got like a bunch of edibles, and also my homie Alexa gave me like some homemade edibles that they picked up, and I ate a lot of them. And you and I were supposed to do like a live, because we were really into our lives that year. They were fun. And we were doing one on the East Coast and the West Coast. And I like slept through the one on the West Coast. I think that year was a Monday, because we had all of our homies on. Remember, like Fish was on. Oh, yeah. Alexa did come on. Like we had everybody we had the call Mowgli's in that day. We had the Mowgli's on. Oh my god, that was so fun. Like we actually had a really great show that year. I might like find that and like play that for one of the shows, because that was, as ridiculous as it was kind of like it was fun. We did our best, and we did like VR sesh with all the homies. Yeah, and it made us feel like less sad about not being able to have 420 here.
This is funny because I had to sneak out of my brother's house during the pandemic and go out front, and I was barely on the internet. I was barely on the Wi-Fi, and we were like smoking out in front of his house. Just
it's 420, so you can't. There's no excuses, especially for us that day. It's like the one day. My sister's like, "Well, aren't you coming to Easter?" And I'm like, "We're coming to Easter dinner, but we can't be there all day. It's the actual one day that we have to do stuff. Like I can't I can't avoid it. And I thought it'd be fun if we did it on the East Coast. I could have moved my trip actually if we wanted to the end of April, because I have to go back to the East Coast. So that's why we're doing it. I thought it would be fun specifically to do it on the East Coast, because you haven't been doing 420 on the East Coast since.
It's been a long time. I can't even remember the last 420 I've been to on the East Coast.
Yeah. The last one was definitely like the year right before I moved, and like, I think it'll be fun.
I guess it was Florida, so that was the last one.
Oh, but I mean, like
that doesn't count.
I mean, like,
sure, Florida is
the real.
I was on the west coast of Florida. I technically wasn't on the East Coast. But yes, I am. I'm looking forward to it. I thought it was a great idea you had, Sasha.
Well, thank you. So real quick, we'll just kind of go over what we think you should, or you don't have to do anything. But if you're celebrating 420, we just have a little bit of suggestions to keep you going. So you wake up.
Wake up late for school.
Feeling like, and
you don't want to go.
But you do wake up. It's a beautiful spring day. It's fucking Sunday morning. On Sunday morning. And you know that you're in for a good time. Now, you probably have product already if you did a little bit of preparation. If you don't, that's okay. You'll get some. But we suggest you have a little bit to get you started. We obviously often do have much weed with us. So we are always very prepped for 420. Before I worked in weed, I did have some to get me started, but I did wait for, and I only wasn't in weed a couple years out here, but I did usually wait for the day, and then I'd go to my favorite dispensary and get my favorite goodie bag. And man, during the Prop D days, those goodie bags were so lit. They're okay now. Like they're okay. They're fine. But like the shit that we used to give away so much and give away. I'm talking you spend what like $75 at the dispensary or something like that. Like you get like a quarter, a quad and some edibles, and then you get a gift bag. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean the last 420 that I had in Venice, like we had one of the bud tenders actually made some cupcakes, and we were just handing out cupcakes to everybody that came in, infused. And little goodie bags, because you could do those things back then.
I know that sounds crazy.
You could give away that.
You did what?
Yeah, totally. Like giving away a
packaged?
homemade cupcake. No, we were just handing them out with napkins.
There was no milligrams on them.
Like no. Like yeah, they're pretty strong. Have a great
napkin.
Day. We gave it to you on a plastic paper plate.
Yeah, a little soda in a plastic cup. No, that's great. I do. Things have changed, and we do have to admit that. But it's still great. I mean, it's still going to be a great day. And I don't know how the East Coast rocks, so maybe the vibe will still be gift bag central. I don't know. We'll find out. But you, when you wake up, go smoke immediately. That is an order. That is a goddamn order. Yeah. I don't care if you usually wake and bake. If you're celebrating on 420 and you don't wake and bake, I have questions about your commitment to Sparkle Motion. I do. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course. Take this with a grain of salt. But on 420, you gotta respect the plan. But again, like we said, it's a marathon, not a race. But take a little hit of the bowls, just a little tiny one.
Yeah, for sure. Wake and bake always it like sets the intention of the day, and the day is 420, so you're setting the intention to smoke all day. Also, you get that first smoke of the day in, and then you're ready to go, and you can keep that pace up and keep that vibe up all day.
It's like, I don't wake and bake often, but when I do, I like it. I never regret it, and I do acknowledge that waking and baking every day is not probably going to give you the best results of your day, but 420, promise you, especially if like it's like the last little bit of your weed, get you motivated, get you up, have some water immediately, because you got a long dehydrating day ahead of you. So have some water, stay hydrated, and then brush your teeth or whatever, and eat and plan out where you're going to go, who you're going to see. So if you're with a homie, perfect, great. Then it's even easier to plan out because you can plan your stops for dispensaries, because that is the second thing or third. I don't know what we're up to. You have to go to a dispensary. It will be crazy though. So you have to plan which dispensary you go to. But my opinion, and this is not universally shared, and a bud tender will be like, what the fuck? But like, I think you have to go to a dispensary on 420. I always have, even when I worked in weed, when I didn't work in weed, I always felt it was very important to hit up at least one for the goodies, for the vibes. And you never know, maybe you'll get there on a lull. It won't be that busy. Like there have been times where we would get like a little dip just for like 5 seconds and then it would get busy again. But like it will be crazy. It will be. So plan for that, but also get with your homie, get to where you need to be. If you can take public transportation, even better. Get to the localist, because we're going to go to our most local dispensary first. And then I think we'll hit up the city and hope of hopes we get into a dispensary in the city, and then we'll go on our way. I don't think we need to hit like 3 or 4 dispensaries on 420. Not us. Maybe you do. And that's great. People used to when it was back in the day. But at least go to one. That's my opinion.
The deals in dispensaries, if you want to shop and stock up, 420 is the day. If you have the time and the patience to go to several dispensaries, you're going to score. You're going to come out ahead. And you're going to have your weeds and edibles and everything for the next couple weeks.
You're going to have a good 420. I feel like, 420 goodie bags and stuff, like they get me through like months. Like I even recent ones, like even ones that I've gotten from where like you've worked, like I feel like I've gotten some like bags that have really lasted me. And you never know, like you'll look at your bag and be like, oh, I'm not going to use that, like whatever, you know, weed infused fucking.
You're not going to use the sex lube.
Right. But then there comes a time where you're like, I just heard the 4th installment of Cannabis, Sex, and Giggles of the Cool Nerd Weed Show, and I'm feeling a little
Got
frisky.
this sample.
I've got this sample from 420. I'm going to use it. So, and honestly, like, I swear to God, that actually literally happened to me. So, like, this will happen. So please take advantage. And I can't tell you how hard your bud tenders and your dispensary workers are working that day, even if the vibes are off, but they're not. They are always on. We were like fucking fairies of fun when we did 420, both in the legal days and the medicinal days and the cowboy days. Like every 420 is good vibes. So trust when I say that is not like that's work. We're putting in like a lot of work to like create this cool moment. And I always felt really important that day. Like I always felt like I was part of something really, really cool when I would do a 420. So you as a person who's consuming, like you're also a part of that culture and consuming. So just know that like we're both working hard to make it a really fun day. So feel good about that. Be excited. You know, be excited to go into a dispensary and see a long line of people buying legal weed. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, who would I mean, someone who's like my age, did I really think that I would be buying legal cannabis, waiting in line on 420 for a shop that's like beautiful, and I could just come in and buy like hundreds of different products, and they'd be giving me a goodie bag at the end of it? I never conceived of that.
How could we have ever thought it would get to this? So I think that that's a really, really special thing, and I do get like mushy about it, even though I know, like, it's funny because the locals in LA are like, yeah, okay, like, because weed has been acceptable here. But my first 420 that I worked, I was fucking stoked. Like, I was like, I had all the energy in the world. I was fucking ready. I was like, let's do this. And I had like it was exhausting, but I mean, it's a solid 13-hour work day. Y'all are on your feet. I was standing a lot of it, but I worked the front, and it was nonstop, but it didn't matter. Some people just got their recs that day. You know what I mean? Like it would be like, because they would have specials too. All the doctors have specials and shit. So you go to your 420 doctors, you get your fucking weed card for free or like $5 or something. And then you'd come. So I think that like spirit is still there, like make sure you have like a little budget out to like get the weed that you want. And trust me when I say you will leave that dispensary with hella weed and like set to go with your homie or solo, because I've done it both ways, solo and with a homie. So get to a dispensary, get your goodie bag is my next step.
You even showing up to that long line. I've talked to people that have met their significant other, met their bestie in line on 420, and then they come back every year. This was at the weed. Specifically,
you know what? I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was like there was a couple that met in line at 420, and then there was another. And then there was another. It was two ladies, and they're like, we met in line here last year at 420, and we've been best friends ever since. And that's a beautiful thing, because cannabis does really bring the people together.
Oh my God! Like no other thing. No other thing. Like, you're going to tell me alcohol is a social drug until, you're fighting and puking in the street. Weed does not make you do a lick of that. I have never, like, that is how I found my community. That is how I saw the most community, is through the cannabis community, especially on 420. And you'd think, because it's like a big retail day, that there'd be more dust-ups. And I've seen a fair share of dust-ups, but it's not. It's just a good time. That's why I like highly, highly recommend that you hit up your dispensary. Now that will take a chunk out of your day. So I suggest doing that first, TBH. That's just my opinion. But if you want to go to like a park or walk your dog or meet up with one homie locally by your house or whatever. Smoke a little bit there. That's cool too. And then hit up a dispensary. But I like to get my most, over stimulating activities out of the way. So I would go to the dispensary first, close to right after brekkie. And then, and I would probably be like a couple edibles and a joint deep. And then we would get to our next destination. Oh, please have water. Please carry, I know I said stay hydrated, but I'm going to say it like a billion other times. Marathon, not a sprint. Smoke a bowl. You don't have to smoke a joint like me. You don't have to even look at a joint. Have water. Be a little stoned when you get to the dispensary. And have a plan of when you're going to go next, where you're going to go next. Because there's nothing kind of worse than when you're like stoned and like you don't have a destination. It makes you anxious. You're just like, where am I fucking going? Sometimes it's great to get lost. The city, we're going to be in New York. It's great to get lost in New York. You know what I mean? Like that is, and also we know the city very well. So sometimes it's really fun to get lost, but it's not fun when it's not fun. When you're really, really high and you just kind of want to sit or you want to eat or, like I would recommend bringing snacks. Like I 100% will have like a cheese stick with me and probably some crackers. That will be in your bag. Do these things to keep yourself going, and I would say if you're going to go to a party, early evening, or if you're going to like throw a party, early evening, like a lot of, and it's funny, a couple of years, we're doing what I'm saying we're doing. We start from the very beginning of the day if we're not working, and then, we go. And we've tried really hard, like a couple years to make it to like a late event. We've been like, we gotta go. It's like 4:20, we gotta go. And like, we'll go to like somewhere by like 10 or like 9 or something. And it'll be dead, like, because everybody's like super high and like asleep or home. So surprisingly, 420 specifically, other weed events do go late all night, whatever, but 420 specific events don't go as late as you'd think they would.
We went to like one of the fish 420s, and then we stopped. We went to a glass house 420 at the Wisdom.
Oh yeah, that one was so whack as fuck.
And there was nobody there.
Yeah, but we got to Fish's relatively early though, and his party was popping.
It was lit.
It was lit. But by the time we were leaving, I felt like it was starting to like kind of like empty out, and it was like kind of early, and it was lit. Like it was a good vibe. I just feel like literally people have been going since 9 a.m. With weed. It's different with like alcohol and like stimulants. Weed makes you fucking tired and hungry. So like I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in other parts of the world, but for us, in our experience, like by the time it hits like 10:30, 11, you want to be in your gym jams, or at least like toward the home area.
Well, that's when the pizzas showed up at the Fish 420.
Yes. So, see, now that's a good party. Your host is a stoner when he knows to order pizza to the party. Good looks.
Like 50 pizzas showed up.
Yeah, and that is absolutely good looks. So yeah, I would say after your dispensary, have yourself a plan with your homie or just yourself, and make sure where you're going. And this is probably our last tip. Make sure where you're going like is cool with smoking. Like if you're gonna go to a park,
yes.
and
yeah.
I haven't run into this on 420, and the whole point of the holiday is for it to be accepted, but I don't know, especially if you live in a place where it's fucking not legal, bruh. Like if you're in Texas, don't do any of these things because you can't do half of them. But
not in public,
right? That's what I mean. Like you know, there's no dispensary for you to go to, my dear. But be responsible within like the law, and also like just make sure you don't go to somebody's house that you're like, oh, it's 420, I'm going to go like by myself smoke, or I'm going to, smoke with my friend who lives here. And then they're like, we don't, we'd rather you didn't, or you go to a park that's non-smoking, or you go to a party or a club or something. And that actually has happened on 420. I like went to like a club somewhere and like nobody was smoking. I was like, what are we here for? Like, what do we have? Like, yeah. If you want to smoke on 420, then you should be going to, or you should be able to find things that are smoke friendly. Anywhere, like that is just you could like the day before, the 19th, do a little check on what's going on. That will be cool with weed. And if you have to go back home, go back home. Bring the party to your house, man.
The party's over here. The party's over here. The party's over there. Party's over there.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to offer? I mean, that was enough, really. Yeah. We don't have to do much more. But is that? Did I cover everything?
Yeah. You know, you gotta make sure you're in a smoke friendly environment on 420, and you know, we'll give you some more tips and tricks as leading up to 420, and we'll let you know where we land in New York City. So
yeah,
come
you can
find
follow
us
us all around. Cool Nerd Weed Show. We'll be posting like we always do, and also like a polite suggestion. Have like a smell proof like little go bag and stuff. Like you said, you wanted to smoke like Dutch Masters, so we need a rolling tray, we need a grinder, we need a Dutch Master, we need a little setup to do our shit. So like a little any sort of thing will do, like a pouch or whatever. I mean, if you lived in a state where it's not legal, like you probably have a creative way to store and transport your weed. So do that, and just like TS is very good at being prepared. Like when we would go to Venice, like we would have like full on, like
you need your papers, your blunt wraps, extra lighter, maybe some baby wipes, a little container to put your grinder.
Because I hate when I forget a grinder. I hate when I hate it.
Annoying.
I get so mad.
Annoying.
If you're doing dabs.
Little container to put your roaches in to keep the smells down.
What a good idea. Yes.
And all your munchies.
All your munchies. Kit. So important. So important. Yes, a survival kit. So yeah, we'll have tips and tricks like TS said. We'll go through and give you a little United States of Cannabis events next week once it gets closer. But we just wanted to give you some little things that we do. The nerd. This is how we do our day, pretty much. I think, right? Did I leave anything out that we don't do?
No. You. I'm pretty sure we covered everything.
And take edibles throughout. I would highly suggest.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a break. Sorry. Did you have more? Damn it. Did you have more? Sorry.
Let's take a break.
Okay. Okay, we're taking a break. I'm not going to cry, and we will be right back. I don't know. I feel like we're going to come back with something annoying, so I just wanted to draw out the fun. We'll be right back.
We salute you, the United States of Cannabis, under all 50 strains. One pre-roll, under bong. It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show.
Yep. That was so perfectly timed.
It got me right in the terp zone.
That was perfect. Well, we are the Cool Nerd Weed Show, and I played the United States of Cannabis one. What a great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely one nation under bong. That is us. And we are, what do we talk? We're talking about
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, so this is interesting, and I found this interesting. I feel like I don't know. We probably talked about this all throughout, but this is where it landed. So
yeah, let's
take it away.
Just a quick history of cannabis. A quick recap of cannabis in Minnesota. In April of 2023, by an act of Minnesota Congress, the House and the Senate, and then finally being signed into law by Tim Walz. Remember him? Cannabis was made legal for adult use.
Yes.
On May 30th of 2023.
Wow.
Governor Tim Walz signed the bill into law. It was actually like, it's what the people want. And the Minnesota government actually recognized that and took action. So, and then they said it was going to take a couple of years to get their infrastructure in place. And It has. And then, last year they canceled their social equity application lottery. I don't know why exactly. It's kind of fucked up because, people that have been affected by the war on drugs need a leg up, give them a little advantage, like right the wrongs. So they got rid of that lottery, but recently a judge reversed that, and the lottery for social equity applicants is back on.
Okay. Now, okay. So, okay. We don't know why they did that. Was it didn't have like, it wasn't the same thing as like New York where it was like remember the veterans were like all mad because they weren't included.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was it like that kind of same thing?
It wasn't I don't know why it was canceled in the first place.
So wait, we're in Minnesota now?
Yeah, we're in Minnesota.
Okay. I don't know why I am so confused about this. Well, because I feel like it's confusing. Like why first of all, why would they do that? And then B of all, like, of course, I mean, the judge said it was like illegal, right? Like they were like, this taking away the lottery is
it was part of the legislation was to include social equity into the program, and then for some reason or another they actually canceled the lottery for social equity applicants.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I can't find anything as to why. And I feel like
and in Minnesota, the social equity program did include veterans.
It did.
It did,
so
yeah.
What the frick?
And and also residents of high poverty areas and people negatively affected by cannabis prohibition, and wanted to give them a little head start in a new industry.
Right. Well, this is important because it does. Well, it says like it like establishes a lot of things. It says like, first of all, the law that was voted on can't be changed because like what the fuck. I think they were one of a couple states that were like, oh well, we're just kidding, and then they kind of like reneged on whatever was voted on, which was so insane. And so this kind of says like, okay, well, you can't do that. And then it also says that specifically social equity is really important to consider. And like the work was done already, they already put together all of the legwork. So to deny the lottery is crazy to me. And like after it was voted in, like, because New York had like that wishy-washy moment where they got like it per the usual, like when with cannabis, like if anything is a little bit gray, it just goes completely off the rails. So everything just has to be specific and also beneficial to the parties that deserve to be benefited. Like if you don't have expungement and social equity, it's so silly, and it would feel so crappy for us to be excited about like weed being legal with people still being in jail for it, and people who had weed charges not able to open business, like positively affect society. Like that's so dumb. So I'm just trying to like get in the minds of these Minnesota lawmakers.
Well, okay, so I did find it, and
where I can't find it.
It was a series of lawsuits. It doesn't say who filed them, but some people filed lawsuits because they felt that they should have been included in the social equity program.
Who were they? Who were these people?
It doesn't say in this.
I want to know who was mad about this.
I have so many questions as well. But it does say here in this, I don't know where this article's from, that there were lawsuits filed by applicants who said that their applications were unfairly denied. So then, with that, then they denied the entire lottery social equity system.
I see. Which
so
is kind
now
of like
it's
similar. I think that happened in New York.
It's like
right?
the same. Yeah, because in New York, the veterans were mad they weren't included in this social
which
equity
was stupid.
program,
Like, I mean, it's fucking dumb.
But in Minnesota, they are included. So it doesn't say which groups, but apparently some people felt that they were unfairly treated in this process. But then they halted the process in Minnesota for every single social equity lottery applicant, which is even crazier.
Right.
But now a judge has overturned that, and the lottery is back on, and it's going to happen in May or June.
Well, there is something that's going on with the state tribal contracts. Did you see that?
I didn't, but a lot of times that the tribal governments, they follow their own laws and open.
Right. They were cool, but like the people who were applying for cannabis licenses, they of course were the ones who had the problems. Like they were like, well, if they can't follow the rules like we do, like the stupid idiots who were trying to open recreational cannabis, like tribal. I mean, they like that's a completely different government. So like people, Minnesotans, it looked like were getting mad at the tribal community for being able to operate when they could not yet. So maybe that was a part of it too. Not the social equity lottery, but like the conversation.
Yeah.
Because they're not social equity, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's the conversation is, well, if we can't all have the same like whatever, like some, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's saying it's an unfair advantage by getting a license or being open first.
Exactly, which is whatever. I can't. I don't have time for me to get mad about that. But so just like you started to say, I cut you off with questions, but it's just like anything else. Like it's just like any other fucking place where weed is it's such a specific business to open. There's so many different things to consider that need to be considered that dummies in the law or the government shouldn't be the people to be considering them. It should be people who know about weed, people who are affected by weed, who want to make a change, people who can stand up for the rights of those who deserve social equity, or can say like there's a difference in processes between, state tribal communities and us, whatever, like I think it's just the same old story of people not understanding what it entails to make weed legal. I think they just see dollar signs in a lot of places, and I don't think that's a good way to do it. So now, yes, for social equity in Minnesota, right? Now, and that does speak loud that no, they're gonna stick to their guns and help those who were wrongly affected by the war on drugs, right?
Yeah. The lottery is back on,
so we're good. Nothing else to worry about ever again. That's great.
Ever. They're just gonna walk off into the sunset, smoking their weed in Minnesota, and everything's gonna be great.
Oh, well, I love that. I love that for them. Yes, if you are trying to understand weed law and how it affects those around you, a really good place to start is social equity and expungement. It's very important in the legislation of cannabis, which is going to the birds. Okay, well, we're done. We will have the full episode of the Cool Nerd Weed Show on the podcast. Listen to us everywhere. Find us, love us. I am so sorry, Adobe, for going over, and
don't panic.
It's organic.